Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we got a very interesting show. I was surfing on Twitter kind of looking at stuff that I could maybe talk about. That's kind of what I do before every show is I try to look at the news and see, what is relevant, what is something that I could talk about. And today we're talking about Joe Rogan. Now Joe Rogan is a podcast that I often listen to when I'm at the gym or on a walk. I think he's got some really good guests and I actually do genuinely enjoy listening to Joe Rogan. But today we're going to be reacting to some of his clips that's getting him in hot water on Twitter. Something that he said about January 6th and a certain guest that he had on. So that's what the topic of today's stream is going to be. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Straight Chad, what's up? Big Dice, shout out to you, the first person who was in my YouTube stream. I hope everybody is taking care and having a wonderful day. Sonia, how's it going? Hello, Sue. Melly, how's it going? Okay, I hope everybody is doing really well. Let me just double check to make sure I'm live on Rumble as well, because I didn't see the preview on my phone. So I'm just going to double check to make sure I am indeed live. So just give me a second. Okay, perfect. It looks like we are indeed live on Rumble. Perfect. Okay. Hello, Kate. How are you doing? So, yeah, without any further ado, without any further ramblings, I'm going to pull this up. Please be sure to share the stream out. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're watching on Facebook, follow the page, all of that. But, yeah, that's enough rambling. We're going to pull this clip up on Twitter. Now, first, this is a clip, of Joe Rogan's recent podcast with a guest, apparently a comedian named Jim Gaffigan. And apparently this is the same episode where he made these comments about January 6th. I actually have not watched these clips yet. This is like a real, raw, authentic reaction to what he has to say. I didn't proofread this. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. So I'm going to take a look at this first clip that I found on Twitter. It's only like about 3 minutes long. And then we'll get into the other clip, which I know is specifically about January 6th. But yeah, again, share this out like crazy. I see we got a lot of people watching over on Facebook. Let's get the YouTube up, all that good stuff. But yeah, let's hop into this puppy. And let me know in the chat if there's any problems with the video, like if you can't hear anything here. Okay, that's good. All right, let's do it. Oh, wait, actually, okay, 1 second. There's something I always forget to do, which is so annoying when okay, there we go. Never mind. Okay. Perfect. I see a comment that says no sound. Let me know if you guys can hear it. There should be sound, but okay, I'm sorry guys. My bad. There's always at least one of these little bloopers. That's why well, that's the thing about doing live streams is sometimes it's not going to always work. It should work now. Thank you everybody for letting me know. That is frustrating. I apologize about that. My bad, folks. Let me know if it's good now. Oh, all right. Let me know if it's good now.
Well, I think, look, Joe Biden's relationship with his son or, who obviously struggles with addiction. I mean, look, half of our friends struggle with addiction. It's like, he's a compassionate father. Is there some of that, like, let's make some money with our influence after we left office, or even
during office, when he was
even
vice
when we were
president.
senator or stuff like that. Is there some of that? Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot of that.
But compared to Trump, compared to like Jared getting a $2 billion contract, compared to like even the documents, like the documents that like Biden had or Pence had, versus like Trump literally showing the documents, some of them being I think we're going to find out, being really inconsequential. I'm not saying he was selling them. I'm not saying, I don't know if he was, it was like a big swinging dick move. I think that's different than, Pence having some documents in his house that he shouldn't have. But
You mean Pence or Biden?
Pence had documents.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody's
documents.
really concentrating on Pence.
But like by the way, I do want to make clear that I do have the approach of like I could find something out and be like, all right, but like there is part of me that's like, it's very little doubt in my mind that Trump is the most corrupt, and you know.
All right, let's hear your guys' thoughts about this in the comments about what this comedian is saying about Trump and Biden. He's pretty much trying to say that Biden's like the lesser of the two evils. I don't know. He's trying to say that Trump is like the eviler of the two evils. I don't know. That's I'm excited to see what Joe Rogan has to say, because Joe Rogan can he can tend to go off sometimes. So let's see.
You know, was like just the it's not, like Andrew Jackson was like, did horrible things, but like, I don't begrudge someone having kind of like kick ass and take no prisoners kind of attitude. It's, it's not the style. It's just, I think that there's repeated corruption. I mean, like
but there's repeated corruption with the Biden administration. The corruption with his son. First of all, his son struggling with addiction. That's not my concern. I mean, it sucks. It sucks if you have a kid that's hooked on crack and is a fucking complete disaster, and he pulls himself out of it. Congratulations for him. That's not what It's the corruption. It's the clear influence by foreign agents and foreign.
You don't think Trump has more corruption?
I don't think there's evidence the same way that there's evidence right now because of the laptop and because of the recorded conversations.
And I just want to make this very clear. It may seem like I'm like, I don't have anything like really good to say about this. I'm Canadian, so I'm mostly focused on Pierre Poilievre and Justin Trudeau. This is U.S. politics. Not that I know nothing about it, but I'm Canadian, so I tend to focus more on stuff happening in Canada. So I don't have like the most solid opinion on this, but yeah.
There's real evidence that they were getting money from other countries.
What about?
Okay, that's the end of the clip. Okay, let's so that's not the clip that he's in hot water for. Let's now look at the clip that he is in hot water for. If I could pull it up. I think it's a bit longer. I had it pulled up here. Just trying to find it right now on my screen. Give me a sec, folks. Welcome everybody to the stream. Okay. Got a lot of people tuning in now. I hope everybody's doing well. I have to give a shout out to somebody who's on Rumble. Sue, C2020, welcome on Rumble. I appreciate you. Everybody on Rumble gets a shout out because, Rumble is something I'm trying to build. Okay, I guess I'm just going to have to manually search for it again because apparently I've lost it. Joe Rogan is trending on Twitter, so I guess all I got to do is just click that and then see. Okay, this is it. I found it again. Whew. Okay, I was wondering if I was going to have to do a lot of looking. Again, let me know if you guys can hear the clip.
I think the January 6th thing is pretty bad.
Well, the January 6th thing is bad, but also the intelligence agencies were involved in provoking people to go into the Capitol building. That's a fact.
Yeah, that is, I believe, a fact.
So wait a minute. You're saying that guy, what's his name?
Ray Epps.
Yeah, you really think that he?
I don't know, but I do know that
that's pretty apparent. I think he's going to sue Fox.
I think every other person who was involved in January 6th, who was involved in coordinating a break-in into the Capitol and in instigating people breaking, they were all arrested. This guy wasn't. Not only that, they were defending him in the New York Times, the Washington Post, all these different things, because saying that Fox News is unjustly accused him of instigating. Well, he clearly instigated. He did it on camera. I don't know if he was a Fed. I know a lot of people think he was a Fed.
Is that the guy who was charging, or that was yelling, "We must charge the Capitol," or whatever? I think I saw that video. I think that's who he's talking about.
People that were there were calling him a Fed. What I do know is when they asked the FBI said, "We can't tell you whether or not there were people that were there that were doing that." Now, there's been reports that there was hundreds of agents that were there that were doing that. I don't know if that's true either, but I do know.
Hundreds? I mean, maybe.
Know that they do use agent provocateurs to disrupt peaceful protests. It's a common tactic. Mm-hmm. What they do is say if there's a like the World Trade Organization is a great example. And that was in, I think, the 90s in Seattle. And so what they did was they were protesting the World Trade Organization. They were doing it peacefully. It was a big problem. So what they did is they sent in, allegedly, agent provocateurs. They started smashing buildings and lighting things on fire. Now it's not a peaceful protest. Now they can bring in the police. Now they can start arresting.
Didn't that happen too at the Freedom Convoy? Like there's like one or two people that apparently allegedly had a Nazi flag. And like there's a lot of people saying that there were decoys planted there too. I don't know. It's all a lot of like a speculation. Nobody actually really knows for sure. But that's definitely, I would guess, something that happens at a lot of protests. People on the other side trying to frame the protest to make it look bad. Not just, Freedom Convoy in January 6th. Probably a lot of protests. I'm not sure though.
People, and then they created a no protest zone where literally if you had a pin on your jacket that was the WTO with a red line through it, they would not let you cross. You could not cross with a pin that was against the WTO and go to work. There was a no protest zone. So they silenced protest, which is a part of our freedom of speech. So this is a tactic that some government agencies use to stop
but
peaceful
wait a minute.
protest.
All right, so what you're saying is on January 6th that this event that obviously Trump organized, forget about the Giuliani stuff and the whether they thought that it was
He definitely encouraged people to protest.
Yes. But all right, so you're saying that like the FBI and Nancy Pelosi and I'm
not saying Nancy Pelosi.
No, but like you're saying that like they're like, we'll make this instead of an awkward protest, we'll encourage it so that it'll backfire on Trump rather than being this rising of people that believe that there was election corruption.
I think it's certainly possible.
I think that would be hard. You think it's possible? I think it's possible.
You don't think it's... Wait a minute. You think it's hard to do?
I think that...
Sorry, folks. I'm getting distracted by comments coming in on Twitch. I'm going to have to rewind. I apologize. I just kind of zoned out. That's my bad, folks.
Big problem. So what they did is they sent in, allegedly, agent provocateurs. They started smashing buildings and lighting things on fire. Now it's not a peaceful protest. Now they can bring in the police. Now they can start arresting people. And then they created a no protest zone where literally if you had a pin on your jacket that was the WTO with a red line through it, they would not let you cross. You could not cross with a pin that was against the WTO and go to work. There was a no protest zone. So they silenced protest, which is a part of our freedom of speech. So this is a tactic that some government agencies use to stop
but
peaceful
wait a minute.
protest.
All right, so what you're saying is on January 6th that this event that obviously Trump organized, forget about the Giuliani stuff and the whether they thought that it was
He definitely encouraged people to protest.
Yes. But all right, so you're saying that like the FBI and Nancy Pelosi and I'm
not saying Nancy Pelosi.
No, but like you're saying that like they're like, we'll make this instead of an awkward protest, we'll encourage it so that it'll backfire on Trump rather than being this rising of people that believe that there was...
That would be a good idea to do that. I'm sure that they saw this as an opportunity to make... I'm not saying that like I love Trump or anything. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there's people on the other side for sure that probably saw this as an opportunity to make him look bad. Whether or not they did anything to do that, I'm not speaking to that. But yeah. It's not a far-fetched idea.
Election corruption.
I think it's certainly possible.
I think that would be hard. You think it's possible? I think it's possible.
You don't think it's... Wait a minute. You think it's hard to do?
I think that, that the FBI or the CIA saying, hey, Trump lost this election. Because here's what you're kind of implying. Trump lost the election. He is such an amazing communicator, and he's convinced this loyal base that there was election interference. We don't want them to protest. How we can end this is if we encourage people to go beyond protesting to essentially go into the Capitol and take a shit in the hallway. I mean, I'm exaggerating
Right.
a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't see why that would be of use. Like, I'm more suspicious why Trump didn't call for backup when, for the Capitol Police. You know what I mean? It's like there was, and that, like, Michael Flynn's brother was, you know what I mean? Like, there's way more conspiracy stuff against Trump, and then I think the slim likelihood that people were like, "Oh, Trump's a problem. Let's just get these people that are loyal to Trump to run into the cap."
Okay, but anytime like anybody argues in favor of Trump, I always hear this brought up, like, "Oh, he incited a riot." So obviously, this January 6th was a huge damage to Trump's reputation, whether you believe it or not. So yeah, obviously, like, there's other things that they say about him too, but obviously, this January 6th was a huge thing, a huge, blemish on Trump's reputation that a lot of people bring up as a counter argument to why Trump was a good president. Anytime anybody defends Trump, it's always, oh, he incited a riot. So, yeah, whether you like the guy or not, you could agree that January 6th definitely, more than likely, for most people, not most people, but a lot of people, at least probably half of the people in the States see January 6th as like a really bad thing that Trump did. But
So that we can arrest 300 people.
can't watch this brainwashed dude story, Tyson. Well, the thing is, it's more just creating a discussion. So even if you don't agree with him, it's still good to have people on both sides kind of presenting their arguments. Because Joe Rogan's also in this, of course, it's his podcast, and so it's like a back and forth. It just is encouraging dialogue.
Does that make sense?
No. No, it doesn't
No.
make sense. No, I think it's a standard tactic, especially when someone is the enemy of the intelligence agencies. With Trump, that's absolutely the case. Trump set himself up against the intelligence agencies. He did it openly and he did it brazenly. And a lot of people think it's very dangerous. Like, the intelligence agencies are very important. You want to find out what's going on in other countries. You want to find out what the threats to America are. You want to find out what terrorist activities are going to be taking place and stop them before.
And, JFK had his problem with the intelligence agencies.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, it's unchecked power, right? That's the deep state. It's unchecked power. And I think Trump was very open about his disdain for the intelligence agencies. He created enemies in the intelligence agencies. It's standard for intelligence agencies in this country to encourage agent provocateurs or to employ agent provocateurs.
And so you're saying when he was in Helsinki and he was saying, I believe Putin more than my intelligence community, that was something the intelligence community was like, we're going to get him.
Well, I think they were going to get him in any way that they could because he's an enemy of the intelligence agencies. And he was openly talking about them being incompetent and being corrupt. And he fired Comey, and, he was against the FBI. And, look, it's a very dangerous thing. You talk to people that are in intelligence agencies. Like, it's a very dangerous thing for a president to be at war with the intelligence agencies and to do it so publicly. And I think it's without a doubt, when you have a gigantic, massive protest that a lot of people think is a threat to democracy, you have these people that are saying the election was rigged and they're on the Capitol lawn, they're screaming and yelling. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that they would encourage people to do things that were unlawful.
Exactly. Pretty much kind of what I was just saying.
Instead of peacefully protesting, which is what everybody was doing on the outside, which is totally legal.
Like, I'm not even saying that I support Donald Trump. I know that there's probably a lot of people watching this who do. Again, I'm Canadian, so I'm not using that as an excuse to, like, not have a firm opinion. Like, oh, I'm Canadian, I don't know. But truly, I'm Canadian, so I'm more focused on Canadian politics. So I'm not saying that I support Donald Trump. And yeah, I think Trump and Biden both have a lot of bad things about them. But whether you like them or not, you could agree that this is not a very far-fetched theory, and this is indeed very plausible.
to take that and escalate it to entering into the Capitol. Now you can lock things down, and now you have real clear evidence that this president is responsible for this insurrection attempt, and this is dangerous. This is a threat to our democracy, and he's never going to be president again. We're going to indict him. We're going to go after him. We're going to do all these different things.
Exactly. What I just said, this is a big opportunity to try to go after his reputation.
I think it's not like there's a lot of shenanigans going on both sides. It's not like a clear cut, like he shouldn't have done that and they should have done this. It's like there's a lot of fuckery, and there's a lot that's been going on throughout history. Whenever people have unchecked power and unchecked influence.
Okay, here's a good comment. He told people to go home and the media wouldn't show it. I believe, because I believe I was watching one of his speeches 4 months ago. And it was an old speech. It was a speech while January 6th was happening. I was just rewatching it a couple months ago or whatever. And I remember him saying in it, he was specifically saying to be peaceful. And I believe he said on Twitter or somewhere for people to leave the Capitol building. But that is never reported. I specifically remember during the speech him saying to be and keep it peaceful. So yeah, it's not like he was saying go into the Capitol and raid it and all this stuff. There's people who say maybe he was hinting at that, but in a speech he said to keep it peaceful.
Power
and
corrupts.
they have enemies, and Trump was their enemy.
So yeah, good clip from Joe Rogan there. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I don't want this to be an hour-long stream on YouTube because it's more like a video that happened to be a live stream, reporting on this whole thing with Joe Rogan. So I'm going to keep on streaming, but not on YouTube and Facebook. I'm going to bring it over to Rumble. This is something I see a lot of people doing who want to kind of get the message out on YouTube, but then also, keep on streaming and keep going on a free speech platform. So I'm going to throw up my link to Rumble. The stream, for the most part, what I wanted to talk about today, for the most part, is now, it's already been talked about. But I'm going to throw up my link to Rumble in case you still want to keep on watching my stream. I'm going to keep it going for a little bit longer over there. But if you are going to tune out and not watch me on Rumble, that is all good. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day. But yeah, I'll just let people have some time to click my Rumble link there and hop on over to the stream if you want to, of course. We're just going to be kind of having some fun. Maybe look at a couple more things over there. So yeah. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you're new. Follow me on Facebook, Twitch, all that good stuff. Now, I was laughing earlier about some of the comments on Twitch. I actually wasn't expecting to get any viewers on Twitch because I don't really have many followers over there. I kind of just added it as a platform for fun, but it was kind of funny to see some of the comments and people actually watching me over there, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully I'll see some of you over on Rumble. And yeah, I will see you guys who are not popping over to Rumble in the next one. Bye everyone.